Hey guys, hope everyone is okay. I just wanted to do the short recording just to talk about some of my thoughts and the next steps, what I think will happen over the next few weeks and few months. I'll try to keep it very short. Just want to talk about expectations for the end of July and early August, then more of a macro outlook towards the Q4 and end of the year. Some favorite coins, a little bit about Hyperliquid farming. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. Hopefully we can keep it concise to 15 to 20 minutes, maybe less. So firstly, what I wanted to talk about is the current cycle of the market. And because there are new coins that are performing very well, because meme coins took a huge chunk of the market bullishness and market caps. The current cycle is slightly different than it used to be in 21-22. So pretty much what you saw over the last few months, and same thing happened entire of this year. As long as we obviously in uptrend is playing out in a very simple way. Market is boring, there's some thought, there's some planning, there's some news. So something exactly what we see at the in June. Recently with the war news, with tariff and planning and so on around that. And then you basically see a sentiment on the Twitter and everyone calling for lower targets, everyone complaining, coming up with some bullshit stuff, to be very honest. And that's usually a good time to start scaling into longs and the spot plays, and that's what we did. Publicly called it on Twitter, on Discord as well, that when we got the second news on the war, I said, hey, it's a buying time. I don't think there will be escalation, things will cool off. And since then we've been pretty much up only, and that was about 4 weeks ago. So as you see on the screen, that's the tweet I screenshotted from the Corgical's Discord, that after that market is warming up, people wait for next dip to buy. There's a little bit of retrace, everyone's expecting, we're gonna retest the recent low, so we're probably gonna go lower, no one is bullish enough, and then there's no dip. Market continues to rip, leaving everyone sidelines. And as you see the sentiment on the Twitter, I would say maybe it's exaggeration, maybe not, but probably 90% people are sidelined. And I saw someone sharing that statistic that 80 to 90% of the retail traders are buying that fifth, sixth week. They scaling in, increasing the size and leverage and so on in a fifth or sixth week of the uptrend, and they increasing the short exposure. That's also 80 to 90% near the bottom, and that's obviously how money is moving around. But that's pretty much, if you look at Twitter, that's exactly what is happening. And now everyone who is very quiet and started calling for 60Ks and 70Ks again and some crazy targets, they suddenly started coming back to the market right now. They started launching some meme coins. You're gonna probably see some pre-sales coming up, other scams. They will start leveraging up on their accounts. And that's usually time to, keep it cool, start taking some of your chips off the table and observe what will happen next. And I think we are now in a week 4 of that 5 to 6 week uptrend. And we have probably about 10 to 15 days of the nice upside momentum. And personally, I am planning to de-risk I started a little bit right now, and I will do more over the next week or so. So I think we still have one major leg up on alts. As you see, those squeezes on alts pushing them extra 20, 30, 40, 50% even. It's pretty crazy. And I think it's a good idea to start de-risking towards FOMC at the end of July. Also, we have a bunch of tariff deadlines pushed to August. And on top of that, August is pretty much the worst month in terms of volume and returns for a stock market, for equities, and for crypto. So probably good idea to, between the end of July and the first 2 weeks of August, be on the more of the defense and observe what is happening before scaling back up. I'm not saying if you have a great entries from 3-4 weeks ago, you can probably hold them, but I would imagine we're gonna get some flush. People probably leverage up as much as they can over next 5 to 15 days, and they're going to get flushed hard. And that's not the end of the cycle. I think it's very unlikely. I just think it's better to be on a safer side, and you can always scale back up after we see what is going to happen between end of July and middle of August. So that's the first thing I want to cover. Next thing is the cycle. I think we're still we're not early, we're also not too late. I think there's still much more upside. As you can see, Trump admin pretty much going absolutely insane into printing. They want to force Fed to cut the rates. They want to print more money, which eventually gonna collapse dollar even more. So probably wouldn't hold much of the money in dollars, which will eventually obviously push Bitcoin higher, Ethereum higher, stocks higher. And I would expect that we still have a time until probably October to December, January for a cycle top. For now, banks are just, there's pretty much unlimited liquidity. They just signed the biggest spending bill in history in America, and they're just going to go absolutely insane. It's pretty much, you can compare it to COVID, if not more, to be honest. And that's gonna last probably another 4, 6, 8 months. But the longer it lasts, the more you should, be taking other chips off the table. But I don't think right now is the time to worry about the cycle top just yet. So if that dip happens between end of July and the middle of August, that's the dip to buy. And from there, we are likely going towards September, October. We're going to see Bitcoin to above 130k. Ethereum probably going to print fresh all-time highs. And you can imagine what will happen to the altcoin and meme coin market. Some of the coins that were performing extremely well recently, and the one that you want to keep on your watch list if we get any dips. I'll just go over that very quickly. First one is HYPE. It's insane, having 5x run since the lows. If we are lucky and get pullback somewhere to low 40s on HYPE, you just buy and forget until towards the late middle to late Q4. We're probably going to see high, but wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see 240, 180, maybe even 200 plus, if not more. Speaking about Hyperliquid, I think it's heavily underformed. I'm not going to go too much into details, but there are some protocols you should be heavily involved in farming. November is the 1-year anniversary for Hyperliquid, end of November. We're going to see a lot of focus on that ecosystem. It's consistently growing. We saw that, for example, with a pump launch, that Hyperliquid had already the biggest OI, the biggest volume comparing to Bybit, OKX, Binance. It crushed them on the spot and pretty much perps volume. And I think that trend will just continue and only get better. So if you're not gonna give exact targets, you just look around the monthly open, previous week low, so between 37 to probably like 42. It's a great entry for HYPE. Could get a little bit lower, could get close to that, but not that close. I think it's a great opportunity to get those targets. Farming wise, you want to keep an eye on UNIT. So UNIT is the protocol that pretty much supply all the spot deposits and place for Hyperliquid. So you want to deposit those coins, do some volume on a bridge. I think they're going to add the SPX 690, so Murat coin to that as well. You want to hold, 100, 200, 300 bucks in spot, ideally in all of those in your Hyperliquid wallet. And you want to get as much, at least 6-figure volume on spot on those coins. So pretty much you transfer USDC or any of those coins to Hyperliquid, and you buy, sell, transfer out, transfer in, and just generate as much genuine volume as it possible. There's no point system yet. It is very possible they're going to do the airdrop, so I'll definitely focus on that. Next one is Kinetic. You pretty much want to swap your HYPE to KHYPE, stake it. You're getting the same benefits as a stake HYPE, and then you can go to option earn and deposit some KHYPE to receive about 6% APY. We don't know yet exactly, and K points that will probably worth a lot in a few months time if you accumulate them over the next few months. So next one is Hyperbit. You want to pretty much put some HYPE to the Hyperbit. Sorry, that was a phone call. Swap it to the HYPE, go to earn, and just put it in Ultra HYPE Vault or LST HYPE, and you're getting points from various protocols over here on top of some APY over time. The same thing over here, you deposit KHYPE and you're getting small API, but you're getting points in all of these protocols. Next one, you have Valentis. So you pretty much go to Valentis, hunt the codes for KHYPE protocol vault if you can get in. Other than that, you can go to swap your HYPE to ST HYPE, deposit some, and you're getting HYPE or 5 points. This one would be ideal if you're able to get in. And the last one is Project X. I don't know, it's not that important yet. Something to keep an eye for sure. But basically you can create a volume by swapping coins on the Project X, so connect Wallet, swap coins back and forth, farm some volume. But you can also provide liquidity. Save option is HYPE to KHYPE. You just put the range very low next to each other, and you're getting a tiny fees, but you're just gonna get some points over time. And then for a more risky one, you can go through HYPE USDT 0. If you want crazy risk, you can do like UPump HYPE or HYPE or and so on. So that depends on your risk tolerance and how proficient you are with liquidity pools. And pretty much that's all. I mean, I think if you can get a reasonable volume on and points on those protocols over the next few months, you're gonna get a very nice airdrop. It's not guaranteed that all of them gonna airdrop, but there's a high chance that some of them will, and you can get 4, 5, maybe even 6-figure airdrops. Coin wise, besides of HYPE, think one to keep an eye, it's definitely ATH and CRV. 1 second, let me close it. ATH, it's a great beta play to ETH. With a stablecoin bill passed, both ATH and CRV going to go, you know, way higher than it is right now. So again, you're just looking on any pullbacks towards the yearly, weekly open. That could be a first DCA point around 300, then probably monthly open, previous week low, sub 300, good entry. CRV, it's literally up only mode. If we're lucky to get somewhere back sub 80 cents, it's just a buy. You're probably going to see CRV at $2.5, $3, $4. So good coin to keep an eye on. Useless meme coin, it's just hard to even look at the chart and see anything bearish. I think if you get any pullbacks towards the low 200 million market cap and below, it's just a buy before it goes to billion. Next one is some Dino coins, Litecoin. I was just drawing recently the Dino pattern on it. It's playing out pretty well. I think Litecoin will have spotlight. You have a Litecoin halving in August, and Litecoin is the next most likely coin to get ETH. It can get nice volume. I think it can go towards 200s. So if you can get Litecoin in, let me zoom in, around monthly open again, and sub 90. Anything in this area, it's pretty good buy. Next one would be XRP. I personally missed on that. I know Vob absolutely killed it in our Discord. XRP have a crazy structure. I was just chopping here. Everyone just gave up on it and it's just going insane right now. It's hard to say where will be entry if we get that deep of a pullback, but it's pretty volatile on the deep. So I think if we get something below 280, so between like 265 towards 220s, it will be great buying opportunity if we have a chance. So like about 20 to 30% plus pullback would be nice if it's given. We'll see. Next one, which I saw very few people talk about, is the best leverage play on Ethereum, is SBET. It's currently on 42. It's obviously market's not open yet, so it's not updated. But that's a Sharply Gaming stock. They pretty much are MicroStrategy for Ethereum, and they are already the biggest holder of Ethereum, and they're gonna consistently accumulate it. So if you want the nice leverage exposure on Ethereum, but in spot, anything around 30 and below is a buy. I think the minimum target for SBET is 120 over the next few weeks to couple of months. But I think if Ethereum goes to all-time highs and above to 5-6k, you can really see some crazy squeeze to potentially like 300-500 on SBET. We can really see like that could be like a meme stock to play with. So next one is Ethereum. It's looking great. I think we're still gonna squeeze a little bit more, but any pullbacks towards the 3Ks, so between 3,100 to about 2,800, that's your buy range. If we get that, you just buy lower average spot and you can probably ride it towards 4,500-5,000. Usual Solana, I think got a lot of hate recently, but with meme coin search, it should get some love again. So if you get Solana back to, I don't know why I'm on 3D. If we get Solana back around 155 to 160, it will be very nice buy towards for a swing play towards 220, 250, possibly fresh all-time highs. Next one are meme coins. I think the easiest picks right now, it's where's the bonk? I'll move my bonk. Oh, there we go. It's bonk. Bonk is a nice leverage pair to Solana. It's volatile and it's going absolutely insane right now. If we get any pullbacks between the 0.25 to probably 0.1820, you will be lucky to get anything in this range, and you can probably play it back to, you know, fresh all-time highs and beyond. Really wouldn't be surprised if that, you know, goes anywhere less than the previous all-time highs. So it's double from here pretty much, but if we get pullback, you can catch a nice potentially 3x play, if not more. Other than that, Pengu, another crazy performer. It's cooling off a little bit right now. I think if we get any pullbacks on Pengu, because it's meme coin, you can get you know, hefty flushes of 30, 40, 50% and still looking pretty bullish. If you get any pullback towards the 2 cents, somewhere in this region or below, it's a great entry to swing it back to fresh all-time highs. I think we can fill that wick, 6-7 cents. That is very reasonable. It's 2.5x from here, but obviously if we get pullback, it's a way nicer play. Next one is obviously Fart coin. Fart coin, it's one of the top performing memes. Now it's cooling off a little bit and other caught the spotlight, but again, if you get pullback towards like 1.15 to maybe $1, it's an easy buy. Towards probably $2-3 if not more. And SPX 609, that's a 900, that's the last coin. I would say if you get any entries towards the hard to say on this one, a Monday low 150, probably towards like a 130, between 150 to 125, 120, 125, I think will be great entry on SPX before it goes for some vertical rally. So nice cup and handle formation, similar on Fart coin. So any flushes here, it's gonna be deviation. So pretty much you're looking for something like that and higher. And looks very similar on pretty much most of the other coins. So that's something to keep an eye. And yeah, that's pretty much all from my side. Again, I think it's we're in a raging bull market. Things are going to go significantly higher. If we are lucky in the next between late July and early to mid August, getting some significant dips. If I look on a Bitcoin, I would say something like that we, you know, we're chopping around here very slow. We squeeze a bit more, everyone gets bullish. We're probably gonna top just before the, you know, that all-time high and flush it back down to somewhere between the previous quarter high, so around 112k. I think it's important level. Any deviations below that will cause huge panic and we back up in the races. So anything in this area between like 113, 14, 12 to 108, 9, that's the panic zone. That's everyone will start posting again 90k, 80k targets. Everyone will go absolutely crazy. This is your panic zone, and from here we're targeting fresh all-time highs and beyond that. So that's pretty much where you can look at the over the next few weeks. That's my playbook. Now if we flip 120, start consolidating above 120 and we're not gonna flush down, it's great. Probably going higher, we're not gonna get any significant pullbacks, but for now I think the possibility of that is pretty high. And also if we look at the last chart, if BTC, it's looking incredible. I think if finally gonna get some love after like what we have huge downtrend. I mean, look at that. Since top in 2022, it's get absolutely obliterated. Now Ethereum starting to look like here, just before the rally in 2020. So I think we can get something similar, like you see here. Like pretty much if you look at the Ethereum ETH BTC chart, that's pretty much what I'm expecting what will happen, that you're getting those vertical rallies, quick pullbacks, another vertical rally, pullback, another vertical rally. So something like that, we squeeze a little bit more, pullback, squeeze more, accept above pullback, squeeze more, and we can see ETH and alts going absolutely crazy for the rest of the year. So any flushes, panic, what you see on the crypto Twitter, you know, people starting to call low 100Ks and below. Unless something super drastic happens, I just don't see us trading anywhere below 108 to 112K for any significant period of time. And if we do get those targets, you just buy your favorite alts and clock out for the next few months. But yeah, that's all from me. Hopefully it was helpful. Have incredible rest of the month, and we'll speak to you soon.